20 December 2022. This Skidmark, I'm not going to show you clips and statistics and things like that. I'm just going to talk about my experience of certain things. Times are tough in economies, in the Western world specifically. And here in South Africa, the Eskom problem is driving small businesses to the edge. But I want to talk about fathers. In the past week I've had some conversations with a few guys, and it's quite clear that dads are under pressure. They are not able to provide to their families in the way they would like to, or what the family is used to. And the South African culture is that a man must be tough and don't show emotions and things like that. And I grew up in a house where my mother installed that in me as well. Boys don't cry. Men don't cry. And that is how I grew up. I lost my dad when I was really young, 22. But that was a disaster for me. And I was already out of the house and standing on my own legs. But still, it was a terrible blow. Me and my father had a good relationship. And the night before he died, we spent time on the telephone. I was in Pretoria, he was down in Natal. And we had a long talk. And the next morning when I came back to my office, my uncle was sitting there waiting for me. And I could see on his face something was wrong. And then he said to me, "Your dad has died." It was like a 10-ton truck hit me. And I'm not going to dwell on that because that's not important. I'm talking about these young fathers that are today, most probably due to the Christmas season and all, experiencing depression. Now that's another problem. Men is not supposed to show that they are depressed or to acknowledge that they are depressed because it's a sign of weakness. But I hear stupid remarks like, it's better for me to go because I've got a 6 million or 8 million rand policy and my wife and kids will be fine. What stupid statement is that? Fathers must just remember, children needs a father because it is the father that will install stability in their lives, that will teach them about responsibility, and that is important. The kids don't want those millions from your policy. They want you. They need you. And that is a big problem in the black communities in South Africa. And I've seen statistics, something like 80% of the households does not have a father in the house. So the children grow up without fathers. And look at the general conditions: undisciplined, rude, rowdy, no respect, things like that. I was in the IT business since 1984, and because my dad died so young, I was always under the impression that it is genetic and that my chances of going past 45 is very slim. I was fairly old when I had my children, over 30, and I was always worried that I will lose out on teaching them the values of being a man. So I started off with my kids before they went to school. They each had a computer, and they had on their computers spreadsheet programs. And yes, they also played games, but I was very selective with the games. I only allowed them to play strategy games and things like SimCity and Civilization and those things. Things that taught them that decisions that they make in round 1 can come back and bite them in the arse in round 90 or something like that. That was important. So I was very, very explicit in the computer games I allowed them to play. It was only in their later lives that I allowed them to go to the third-person shooting programs and all of that. But their initial stages, it was serious strategy games, and then I also had a thing where I gave them pocket money. And it may sound simple now, and it may sound cheap in today's life, but they got 10 Rand a month pocket money for every year that he has completed at school. So in grade 1 he starts off with 10 Rand, and by matric it was 120 Rand. And I had only one rule about their pocket money. They will not get the next month's pocket money unless they can give me a spreadsheet and show me what they did with that 10 Rand. I didn't care whether he spent it on chocolates or popcorn or bubblegum or what. That was not important. I was adamant that they record everything they do with that 10 Rand, because that type of discipline will be of value for them in their later lives. And as they grew older and the families, all the boys and girls grew older, when we were together at family meetings, I could see there was a difference between my children and the other children of the family. My children was clearly at an advantage because of the strategy games that they played. And when you hear them talk and you listen to the children talking, you could hear that thing of the spreadsheets was showing in their actions and activities. So on this morning, I want to tell these fathers that are depressed about their economic situation. Doesn't matter how tough it is. Be very aware that your children need you. If you abandon those children, you will not know what you have placed on their path as a human being. A father is extremely important in children's lives. And if you want to drink too much, eat too much, and smoke too much, and allow your body to go to the pigs, just remember this. You will rob your children of something that money cannot buy. So, look after yourself. Look after your weight. Look after your fitness. Keep yourself healthy for your children. The fact that you are going to feel better is a bonus. The main reason why you have to keep yourself fit and healthy is for your children. And I'm a guy that is a chronic sufferer from depression. I'm living with it for basically my whole life. But let's say 50 years of my life. I'm acutely aware of depression, and I go into deep bouts of depression. But the fact of the matter is, I was so worried that I would die young and leave my children without a father, that I didn't ever really invested in playing games with them and go fishing and all that type of shit, which a father is supposed to do. I was focused, singularly focused, on teaching my sons life skills. And I was very hard on them about that. Because in my mind, I thought that those life skills is much more important than a fishing trip. And there are people that will differ from me. And sometimes I also think that maybe I was too strict on myself and didn't allow myself to really play with my children and enjoy that. But okay, I can do nothing about it. That's behind me now. But today, and as I said to a friend of mine the other day, I expected to be gone by around about 45. And then I went past that. And now today, I see guys fishing with their sons, and I see all the playing with their daughters in the parks and things like that. And I do feel jealous about it. But then I look at my sons and I see them in their businesses, and I can see that the things that I taught them stuck. Not everything, but a lot of it stuck. And the questions that they come to me now today, I can see that they need more guidance, they need more advice and things like that. And that's all I there. And I've taught my sons from very young age, they must understand one thing. I am not their friend. I'm their father. I'm the father, not the playmate. And that was a big thing. And my youngest son gave me a lot of shit about that. But that's the reality. Children needs a father. So on this day, with the Christmas season on us, and financials are tough and tight on many of us, just for a moment, remember, your presence is worth more than the presents you can bring. And now I'm going to stop, because this is way too fucking depressing for this time of year. But I just had to do this and tell the dads out there, you are extremely important in the lives of your children. And they will miss you like hell if you are gone. And many of them will not know how to accommodate that loss in their lives. So, think about that. Think about your health and not your wealth. Because your children cannot learn from money or live off money. They need you. Please give me a like and subscribe and share this thing if you think it was of value.